Alright, I'm just gonna read a few stories I have written in my notebook here. The meaning of creepypasta. Creepypastas are the modern, terrifying urban legends, tales of horrifying serial killers on the loose, scary, ghostly apparitions appearing in the night, and shocking children video games and cartoon haunting you in mysterious ways, all told through the internet. These gruesome stories are not written by select big name authors, but by you people of the internet. This creates an air of eerie realism which you don't get with other horror mediums or any of these scary stories. True, that question's up to you. The question is, what will keep you up at night? My fascination with cemeteries. I have a morbid fascination with cemeteries. I love visiting cemeteries. The headstones are beautiful and have an interesting story. I always read the headstones and wonder what kind of lives they lived. I take a lot of pictures and videos of cemeteries. They are very beautiful and peaceful. I find cemeteries relaxing. The birds chirping, the wind blowing through leaves, the wind chimes. At Rock Point Cemetery, there are quite a few wind chimes and some bird. Oh, if I can find a page here. And bird houses. Sometimes you can find random animals, for instance, birds, rabbits, deer, and other random animals. I've seen shadow people at Rock Point Cemetery, so has my mom on several different occasions. I've done EVPs at Rock Point and Mazer Cemetery and got several good EVPs. Ghost hunting. We went to the cemetery today to go about a good place to do a 24-hour challenge. I think we found a good one at Rock Point Cemetery where my grandpa is buried. In the opposite corner of where my grandpa is buried, my mom and I see shadow people. I think that's where we will do some EVP sessions. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. we are going to start our 24-hour challenge at Rock Point Cemetery with Allison Exploration. Okay, so it's October 21st at Rock Point Cemetery with Allison Exploration. It's 6 p.m. and we will be here investigating until 6 a.m. We have our cameras, EMF readers, voice recorders, and spirit box with us. We're going to start investigating the corner where we saw the shadow figures. So I was doing some EVPs and got one that said, "Get out," in a demonic voice. A few hours later, captured a full body apparition. The apparition was a man wearing a cowboy clothing. He looked mean. Not too long after that, I got 3 long scratch marks down my back. It burned so much. After that, not much else happened. In the morning, we went home, tired and exhausted. Fortunately, nothing followed us home. Update. Something did follow us home. First off, I kept having nightmares of being hanged or choked to death, and I kept getting 3 scratches on my back, legs, and arms. Items like keys and phones kept coming up missing just to turn up a few days later in a different spot. My dog keeps growling at something in the corner of the living room. Pictures keep getting knocked off the walls. I called our priest to come do a blessing and smudge our house and us. Let's see if it helps. I'll keep you updated. Well, it's been a month and nothing more has happened. Let's hope it stays that way. I pray every night and smudge once a week. We have the priest bless us in the house once a month. I really don't ghost hunt much anymore now. When ghost hunting, please be careful and protected. Mr. Creeper Man. I'm a 36-year-old female, and I look about 18, 19 years old. I usually get hit on by creepy little guys. I've been noticing an older man in a Buick followed me to work or to wherever I go. Well, one day I went to Wendy's to eat, and he followed me into Wendy's. I got my food and sat down. Then he got his food and sat down 2 tables across from me and watched me while we ate. Then he followed me to work and sat out in the parking lot of my work and waited for me. After work, there were some flowers on my car. One day I got up for work and looked out the bedroom window, and he was sitting there watching my house. I called the cops and explained what was going on. They told me there isn't much they could do because he hasn't done anything wrong. I'm still freaked out. One day when I went to the gas station for snacks, he followed me in, and when he wasn't looking, I snuck out of the gas station and flattened one of his tires. Then I left. I didn't see him for a few days, then saw on the news that he was arrested for stalking and raping young girls. I hope he rots in jail. Come to find out, he was a friend of mine. My friend told me he was a bit of a creeper, always talking about drugging and raping girls. A game of hide and seek. One night my parents, my siblings, and 2 of our cousins, they were playing hide and seek and had a creepy encounter. We live out in the country on 2 acres of land, and on our property there are several buildings. One is our house, then my grandparents' old abandoned house, then there is my dad's garage he built, and a couple of little cabins he built. Then we have a tree house and several storage sheds, plus camp trailers, and several broke down cars, so we have plenty of places to hide when we play hide and seek. When we play hide and seek, we usually break up into groups. One hides and the other looks for the other group. Well, one time, me, my mom, and my sister, we went to go hide in my grandparents' old abandoned house, and a great big man came running out of the door and ran past us, which freaked us out. So we went and told my dad, and he didn't believe us. We looked all over the place for this man, but he had left. There was another time, me, my dad, and my sister on one group, my mom, brother, a couple of friends were on another team, and my dad told us to hide in the garage while he went and spooked the other group. Well, while we were sitting there, we heard them all yelling on the other side of the property, and me and my sister heard somebody walk alongside the garage whispering, and we're like, what the heck? Because we heard my dad and the other group on the other side of the property yelling, trying to figure each other out. We were scared, and we told my dad, and he didn't believe us, believe what happened. And then one time, my mom and brother and a friend went to go hide in my grandparents' old house and seen a old lady walking around in there in old clothing. And when they went to go in the house, they didn't see her. We're always catching weird, creepy apparitions around my grandparents' old abandoned house and just around the property. Because years ago, there was an old man that burned up in his cabin because he was smoking and fell asleep, dropped his cigar on the floor, caught his cabin on fire, and it burned up with him in it. He was trying to get to the door to get out, but the flames consumed him and he died. And we see his apparition everywhere. And that's about it. P.S. These stories aren't true. are just for entertainment purposes only. Thanks for listening.